So anyways, next segment, let's get political. I want to talk about a few different things here. First, talk about the Trump's statement that he put out yesterday.
25% tariffs?
Yes, on Mexico and Canada until you get your border under control and your drug problem under control. Did you read it? What do you think?
Well, I just feel like, I mean, it's hypocritical, obviously, to some extent. I mean, their border leaks too. Like
Yeah, he's not in control right now. It won't.
No, trust me, it will. Like,
It'll still leak to a certain extent. It'll be a lot better than it is.
It will be?
They were pumping people in.
Okay.
Intentionally. They were flying people in.
Okay.
To get more votes.
Okay.
I texted Don Jr.,
Yeah.
Donald Trump Jr., and I said, I think it's good that your dad did this. He actually puts Trudeau to work. Hopefully he does something proper for once.
It's going to be horrible for our economy and horrible for our country, Kyle.
If it actually does. I don't think it's actually going to be put in place.
You think he's just blowing smoke?
Yeah, I think it's a negotiating tactic. And they just don't
Starting off strong.
Yeah, they just don't know what he's going
It's
to do.
fascinating. It really, like, I buy a lot of U.S. currency, and like last night after the announcement, and now we're talking, you know, people listen to this 10 days later or 8 days later, but it's, I mean, the U.S. dollar like spiked up like a 1.5%. Like it affects.
It's or Canadian dollar
dropped, right?
Yeah.
And it's really damaging for our economy if there was tariffs like that. Think of all the people that are producing goods here that are exporting into the U.S. Now, and the other problem is when you do these, when you have protectionist type policies, like Donald Trump is actually known for that, and anybody that was cheering him on knew that this type, it may not be this, he may not go through with this, but he'll go through with other things.
Yeah.
Even if it's posturing, it will lead to tension, and Canada will likely retaliate in some ways in certain areas. And that in and of itself, like, they're called free trade agreements for a reason. They're healthy. Like the more free trade there is between, because you're so close and you're so interconnected and the border's right there, the more trade that you can do freely between the two countries while still protecting your own, you know, business to some extent is great. And so now people that know me would say, well, how come we can't ship milk into Canada, right? So that's there's been a lot of, it's fascinating how coinciding with potentially a conservative government that would arguably be more free trade, obviously, than our current government in Canada. They push for, there's a lot of push from, you know, certain mouthpieces basically to say, hey, get rid of supply management, get rid of quota. The fascinating thing is with dairy, first of all, it's interesting. Chicken farmers never come under attack like the dairy guys. Like, I don't know if people follow that. It's always the milk guys that get in trouble for supply management, even though all the chicken is.
And is there like, are Americans upset that they can't ship chicken up here as well?
They're not even that upset about dairy. Like, there's some that are, but people that really understand, and I'll be the first to say, and I own fair amount of quota, and I'm a believer to some degree in supply management, even though I'm definitely more of a free market person than your average probably dairy farmer in Canada, because I have other businesses that are complete capitalist businesses, and like social supply management is communist to some extent. Like it totally is. There's whenever you're limiting supply, it's not even the price setting, because the price is, I mean, it's a little higher, but it's not that much higher, and that's what people here don't understand. Like, the real issue is, and the people, and this is where I think it gets a little muddy, is the idea that, you know, the license to produce the milk has a lot of value is not healthy, because obviously that cost has to be covered somewhere, right? And the reason it has value is because what other business do you get where you're guaranteed a pretty steady price? And more importantly than that, the fact that you get paid every month, guaranteed. You can count on your milk check coming like the sun come out. Now, it is the same in the U.S. So even U.S. dairy farmers, even though their margins crappier and they, you know, it's way tougher to be a dairy farmer in the U.S., they still are considered a way safer business than a lot of other businesses would be in the U.S. So I find that fascinating when I talk to guys there. The issue that you
don't think though that these like protectionist policies that he's going to put in some way is going to make Canada do the same thing and just help us in our way? Like Polyev went out.
No, I don't think it'll be helpful. No, I don't think trade wars are healthy. I think the best thing is what I would feel we've had for the most part, which is a pretty open border. And I think that there again, back to the dairy, and I'm just touching on that again, because like if we had an open border for dairy, let's say, which is what, you know, Wisconsin dairy farmers would like, they would take care of all the Southern Ontario people where all the millions of people are, and they'd look after really well the lower mainland, because, you know, they have piles of milk close by. But everybody in the northern part of Canada would just pay an egregious amount, or they wouldn't even get, like, it would just be, it's not that simple, right? So anyways,
it is tough just geographically how
our country is. And it's why, like, I love cheap stuff too, and I want a cheap phone bill, and people say all these things, oh, this should all be cheaper. Like, you can't compare to the same size country that has 10 times the amount of people. Like, you just can't. It's going to cost more here. Everything costs more, not just milk, not eggs, not everything is.
Yeah,
going to be more.
Poilievre came out today and said Canada first, Canada first. It was so funny hearing him say that because it was like Trump saying America first. But
he's pandering a bit, right?
Yeah, and it's working. But he just said like, hey, let's get rid of the carbon tax and all these other taxes and stuff like that. That'll actually reduce the prices of things in Canada.
It will reduce the price, and it will really spur on economic growth. And I think that's the part where people that are not entrepreneurs don't understand, is that they would just think, hey, businesses make a lot of money, tax them. But businesses literally hire people. They like, being pro-business is good for a country, and a lot of people don't understand that, right? So, especially my mom, she's a socialist.
I did not know that, but Gary's mom is socialist, so call
you can
her
have
out
her
on
on the
that.
show.
Yeah,
she should be allowed to defend herself.
I seen this week that Pat King, who was part of the Freedom Convoy, he got charged with a whole bunch of stuff, and so he got convicted, and apparently might get up to 10 years in jail.
Is this the Coots guy?
No, I think this is the Ottawa guy. The Coots guy, someone mentioned to me, I think he's from the Dutch Reform community in Southern Alberta, to have him on the podcast, but I'd like to have him on. But these guys are getting slammed with like prison sentences.
I thought a lot of their stuff's getting dropped.
Now, he had a bunch that got dropped, but a bunch that stuck. And there was like that lady that went to jail too. Tamara.
Yeah.
I just think it's insane. Like, it's so infuriating to me when like pedophiles, don't get any jail time at all, or like, these other guys go, nothing happens, or there's Palestinian rioting in Montreal.
That's bizarre.
And everyone was giving Trudeau crap because he was at a Taylor Swift concert, which I'm like, whatever.
He shouldn't be there in the first place.
I think he was there with his kid or whatever else like that.
Can't stand Taylor Swift.
Yeah. That's a whole other thing. But it's like, yeah, he doesn't, no comments about that. I think he did tweet out the next day, but this Freedom Convoy thing, they're trying to steal people's money genuinely. Like, they froze people's accounts.
Trust me.
Your money too?
Yeah. And I made a donation on behalf of one of my businesses, and was getting like emails from like the Washington Post and all these things inquiring about it. And like, it was just bizarre times. I can't stand Trudeau. Like, I know you're supposed to respect your like leaders and stuff like that. Do you want me to read you a funny thing that I got from a local newspaper?
Yes. What do you got before we go to personal playlist?
This just shows you how polarizing of a time. And this is going to give a lot of people PTSD or bring back fun memories, depending on what your views are. But it's just very interesting. This
reminds me of, there was a local newspaper editor here. I forgot his first name. Paul, his name was Paul Henderson. I think he got fired a couple of years ago, but he was always like super liberal and anti-conservative in his articles. So I sent him an email and I invited him over to my house for dinner. Mm-hmm. I sent him a letter and just to have a conversation with him, because I just I want to talk to these people on the other side. And he took a picture of it and posted it on Facebook and said, like, is this guy gonna like bring me to his house and then like put me in his basement and tie me to a ball and chain and yeah. You're not listening, but
hello,
that's
Mr.
fine.
Baars. I'll try you via email as well, but I messaged you here to ask for your comment on your blank donation to the anti-vaccine mandate convoy. Can you explain why you donated so much money, by far the most of anyone locally, to what seems like a domestic terrorism to some people? I have the spreadsheet of every donation, and yours is by far the largest from a Chilliwack company. Why did you feel this was so important to donate to? Are you at all concerned about the fact that the overt plan of the organizers to this protest, to whom you gave the money, is to overthrow democratically elected government? And I won't say any more, but
frickin' guys.
What a character, eh?
Did you respond?
No comment.
Just left it?
There's a verse about that. Just let her go.
Let her go?
Don't matter. Pearls before swine.
Okay. I love it. Okay.
I'm already regretting reading that.
Why?
I don't know. Just don't stir the pot, Baars.
Okay. I'm going to play a song called Love Somebody. Okay, moving on. Next playlist. Next. Hey guys, if you enjoyed that episode and were blessed by it, would you be willing to support the show? That would help a lot in creating more content, improving the quality of the content, putting the production value. Hey guys, if you enjoyed that episode and were blessed by it, would you be willing to support the show? That would help. If you're interested in doing that, you can create more content, improving the quality of the content, subscribe to the podcast. Hey guys, if you enjoyed that episode and were blessed by it, would you be willing to support the show?